Alright, so for this video, it's all going to be all about area. But before I even start, I really want you to pause this video and I want you to try and do this by yourself. Try, like honestly try. Go look through it, try each of the problems before you even watch this video so that you can see what you actually need help with. Start the problem, and if you can't finish it, fine. Stop it, go to the next one. But I want you to honestly attempt this before you continue watching this video. So I really hope you paused it. And you honestly attempted it, because that's the only way that you are going to learn and you are going to figure out what you need help with. Okay? So let's start with the first one. Whenever you have a problem, what I want you to start doing is when you read the problem, I want you to read it once, and then I want you to read it a second time and write the definitions of the words of the problem that you see. Okay? So we're going to read the problem. Find the lateral surface area of the triangular prism. Now what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video, and under each word that you think is important, or on top, I want you to write the definition of that word. So pause the video and see if you can do that. Okay, hopefully you paused the video. So I'm going to read it a second time, and I'm going to underline things that I think are important and what they mean. So we have find the lateral. Okay, lateral I think is important because lateral tells me no base. Then we have surface area. Area is important because that tells me where do I look on this reference chart, okay? And because it says area, that means I'm going to look in the area section, all right? So that's important. Of a triangular is important because every time we have a triangle, we have to divide by 2. And then prism's not really that important because we're dealing with area. And when I have area, there's no words that mean prism, so I don't really need it, okay? Now those are my keywords, and this is what I have to make sure to do in this problem in order to get it correct. I need to not include the bases, I need to find the area, and I need to divide by 2 at some point. Okay? So let's look at this. We have this shape here. First thing that we have is no base, lateral. Well, our base we don't find by looking at the bottom shape. We don't do that. That's too easy. Base is found using something. See if you can figure it out. Alright, I hope you honestly tried to figure it out. But the base is found from the name. So in this case, my name is a triangular prism, so that means my base is going to be a triangle, okay? So it says no base. That means no triangle. So I'm going to cross off these triangles, okay? Now, did I need this divide by 2? No, I don't need it now because it's not important anymore, okay? Now we're going to the second part. We have the area. So I'm going to look here at my chart. And under area, I have a triangle, but we cross those off, so I don't need that. We have a rectangle. Oh, look, I have some rectangles. So this is where I'm going to stop. I'm going to use this line in order to solve this problem, all right? If I look here for a rectangle, it's area equals base times height. So I'm going to write that. For a rectangle, area equals base times height, okay? So we're going to look here. Now, I want you to try and find the area of each of these shapes. So pause the video and try and find the area. All right, hopefully you paused the video and tried to find the area. We have this rectangle here, so we have base times height. The base of the triangle is this right here, so we got 6. And then the height, pause the video, see if you can find the height. All right, hopefully you paused the video. My height, it doesn't tell me. Like, it doesn't automatically tell me. But if I were to fold this shape, right, this would come up here, and this would come up, which means that this would touch this. So 5 is my height. All right, so I get 30. Now, try and find the other 2 if you haven't already done so. All right, hopefully you pause the video to try and find the other 2. This is also a rectangle. That means I'm sticking with this area equals base times height. So my base is 6, still 6, and my height is 3. Okay, so then we got 6 times 3, which is 18. Now we have this shape right here. If you haven't found it already, pause the video and try and find it. All right, hopefully you paused the video. It's still a rectangle, so we have base times height. My base is the bottom, which is 6. My height is how tall it is. Well, it doesn't tell me, but if I were to fold it, it would touch this side right here, so that means the height is 4. So we get 24. Okay, so I want you to find the answer, the final answer, and I want you to circle it. Hopefully you pause the video and try to do this by yourself. But now I have all these numbers, so I'm just going to add them together. We got 30, 18, and 24. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 72 centimeters squared. Remember that this squared, all that means is that you found the area. All right? Y'all are letting that confuse you. It just means area. And that's it. That's my first problem. All right, let's look at the second one. Find the total surface area of the shape shown. So what I need you to do is I need you to go through this problem, the words, and I need you to underline your key words. And then write the definition of those words on top of it. Go ahead. All right, hopefully you decoded this, this problem. It says find the total. Well, I know total means everything. Surface area. Area tells me where to look on my chart, so that means I'm here. I'm looking at a triangle, a rectangle, a trapezoid, or a circle of the shape shown. So it doesn't really tell me what my shape is, but that's fine, because my shape is filled of, hopefully you said rectangles, okay? So I have a whole bunch of rectangles. And I'm looking at the area section, so I'm here, and I see a whole bunch of rectangles. That means I'm here. Area equals base times height. All right? See if you can find the area of this whole shape. Go ahead. All right, I hope you paused the video and found the area of the whole shape. For this one I wrote inside the shape. This one I'm just going to number 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I don't have like room in those. All right? And plus this is just another way, another strategy that you can use in order to solve your problems. I don't have enough room to write 5 and 6. I'm going to write 5 and 6 here. Okay, if that confuses you, then just write it in a line. I just don't have room. Okay, actually, I'm gonna use a sticky note. Okay, so we got this. So number 1 is shape 1. I'm looking for the area. Okay, because that's what it says. So I'm going to the area section, and I'm looking for these shapes. The only shape I have for number 1, well, that's a rectangle. So I'm here at base times height. All right, so try and figure out base times height for shape number 1. Go ahead. All right, hopefully you saw that the base was 2, and that your height was this, and that is 10. So we got 2 and 10. Okay, which gives you 20. Now shape 2, try and find shape 2, pause the video. All right, hopefully you pause the video. We have a base, we have a height, we have 5, we have 10. Okay, this base and height is going to be for all of them because they're all the same shape. So we have 50. Now number 3, if you notice, number 3 looks exactly like number 1. So I'm just going to write that answer. All right, so pause the video, see if you can finish it. All right, hopefully you paused the video. If you didn't, then just continue with me. Number 4 is still a rectangle. Base times height. My base is 5. My height is 10. Oh, look, that's the same thing as this one. So I'm just going to rewrite number 2. Then we have number 5. So if I go to 5, I need my base. See if you can find the base. Pause the video. My base is here. So we got 5. My height, though, is here. What is that going to be? I don't know. Well, it doesn't say anything here. It doesn't say anything there. But I know that if I were to fold it, it would touch this. And that is 2. So we got 10. And then 6 is also 10. All right, so now see if you can find the total. All right, so hopefully after you get to this point, you just have a whole bunch of numbers. So we're just going to combine them together and add them up because that's what's here. You have a whole bunch of shapes that are combined together. So we're just going to combine the different areas. So we have 20 and 50 is 70. 20 and 50 is 70. 10 and 10 is 20. 70 and 70 is 140. Plus 20 is 160 centimeters squared. All right. All right, and number 3. Find the area of the composite figure. So underline the keywords and see if you can figure out what they mean. All right, so hopefully you underlined the keywords and wrote what they mean. Find the area. Area tells me the location on my formula chart. It's on the area section. So I'm looking at triangles, rectangles, trapezoids, and circles. Then of a composite figure. A composite figure is what? Well, it's made up of more than one shape. Okay? And the reason I'm going to write that is because that's a signal to me that I'm going to take this one figure that I have, this one shape, and make it into more than one shape. Okay? And I'm going to make it into more than one shape that I can find the area for, which means I'm making it into a triangle, a rectangle, a trapezoid, or a circle. All right? So we're going to look here. We're going to say, okay, well, look, this kind of looks like a circle here. So I'm going to draw a line here. And that's like a rectangle there. So I'm going to do this. Now, there's a couple different ways that you could have broken this up. You have to draw the line here for the half circle. Okay? You have to do that. But the only other different thing that you could have done is you could have, instead of drawing this line here, you could have drawn like a line straight across. And so you would have had this whole thing. Okay, and then you would have had this one. So this would be shape 1, and that would be shape 2. So if you did it that way, great. You should get the same final answer as me, or you can do it the way that I broke it up. Either one's fine. So I have all these shapes. I'm going to make a chart. I have a half circle. I have a long rectangle, and then I have a rectangle like that. Okay, and I can number them 1, 2, and 3 if we want. This is 1. This one was 2, and that one's 3. Up to you how you want to do it, okay? So let's start with the rectangles because those are a lot easier. So if I look at number 2, I'm looking at a rectangle, meaning I need a base and a height. Well, the base is your bottom, so the bottom of this is 8. And then the height is how tall it is. Now, if you notice, you have 2 numbers here. You want to look at your actual shape, okay? And so if you have to, take what's around you and just kind of cover everything else up, right? So you have this shape here, and then you have this covered up. So I'm left with this, right? Now, if I look at just this, I know that my height has to go from here to here. Well, the only one that goes from here to here is 17. 10 does not go all the way. It only goes here to here. So we're not going to use this 10, okay? So I'm going to use this 17. All right? Then for number 3, we have still base and height because that's a rectangle. My base is my bottom, right? Well, I have a 14 and I have a 12. Well, if we notice this 14 goes from this point to this point, that's too much. I don't want that. So I'm not going to use this 14. I'm going to use this 12 instead. And then the height is 7. Okay? And then for number 1, this is a semicircle. Okay? Half circle. And what do you think a half circle means? Say it to yourself. What does a half circle tell you to do? Pause the video and try and figure it out. Ask somebody next to you. Hopefully you said that a half circle means that we are going to divide by 2. We have to cut it in half, okay? So, we know for circles, we do a RDCA chart. Always and forever, okay? They gave us a what? What did they give us? They gave us a radius. I need area, so we got radius times pi. So we got 6 times pi, 36 times pi. All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and solve it. Get your answer, okay? Pause the video and get your answer. All right, so if you got 333.04 as your answer, you messed up, okay? If you got this right, but you forgot to divide this by 2, okay? So pause the video and see if you can redo it and get it right. All right, so your final answer should have been, for the circle, should have been 56.52, and then your last answer, or your final after you add everything, should have been 276.52. Y'all, if you're having issues, please come and ask me. Please try and do these alone. Ask yourself these questions that I'm asking you. Talk to yourself in your head, and work through the problem. You guys can do it. You just got to try. All right.